Hello everyone and welcome to Hockenheim for round 9 of the 2019 Formula Renault Eurocup. Chris McCarthy here to talk you through all the action this afternoon. It is race 1. We had qualifying 1 earlier today in very, very wet conditions. The track, as you can see now, is dry, and it's going to be the first time that these new FR19 Formula Renault cars are being taken round the Hockenheim circuit in the dry. So this is set to be a very, very interesting race. Drivers are going to be gambling on setups. They don't really know which ones to go on. They had about 3 or 4 laps in the opening practice session to go around in the dry. A lot of the drivers used that to bed in some brakes, and then the rain fell. Amaury Cordil was probably the only driver who actually went out and tried to set a respectable time, and as a result he went quickest in that practice session. So this is going to be a very interesting race indeed. As you can see, there is going to be our pole sitter, that is Victor Martins, fighting for the championship as well. And it's getting to that stage of the season now where we start to cast one eye on the championship. There's just 12.5 points between the top 2. Victor Martins sitting second in the championship, but he has been on very good form of late. That was his 4th pole of the season earlier. Looking to end a bad run of form here at Hockenheim in the Formula Renault Eurocup. Last year's visit here was not a good one for him. Took 2 DNFs. Of course, dominated though last time out at Catalonia, did Victor Martins. Both poles, both fastest laps, and both wins. And he took a win at Hungary the round before that as well. So 3 wins and a further podium in the last 2 rounds. The number 1 car is Oscar Piastri, who currently leads the championship. Oscar Piastri, 6 wins and 8 podiums for him so far, but a slim lead now in the championship. 12.5 points it is, so not a lot in it at all. The point system works as so. The top 10 score points, it's 25 to the winner, 18 to second, 15 to third, 12 to fourth, 10 to fifth, and then it goes down in 2s. 9th place gets 2 points, and 10th just the 1 point as Victor Martins rolls into that pole position slot. Well, it's great to be here at Hockenheim in these brand new cars, as I said. 236 Ks is top speed we're getting to, 74% full throttle around the Hockenheim circuit, 35 gear changes, and we're getting as high as 2 Gs around turn 8 Mercedes through Mobile 1 curve as well at turn 11. It's going to be great to see the cars though round in the dry for the first time, and it's going to make for well, we could see a mixed result here. It's going to be who gets up to speed quickest. Of course, all the cars are exactly the same. They use the same chassis, engine, tyres as well. Hankook tyres introduced for this season, of course. And it's about driver and engineer. And I was speaking to one of the Arden engineers earlier. You actually saw him in picture just there. And I was asking him, you know, about working with these cars and the drivers, and being an engineer that's come up from F4, so there's a lot more to work with. So it is good for, it's a good proving ground for engineers as well as drivers. As we look at the number 3, that is Alex Smolyar. Well, let's take a look at some of the leaders. This is Victor Martins, then 155.217 for him in qualifying, the 18-year-old. 4 wins, 11 podiums for him so far, fastest lap, and 3 pole positions as well for the MP Motorsport driver. That is the number 2 car coming down, one of his teammates, Caio Collet, but this is going to be second on the grid, Oscar Piastri. The 2 championship leaders on the front row going head-to-head. 155.478 it was for Piastri in qualifying. It was a very close session, despite the conditions being so poor. And Oscar Piastri, who is trying to become the first ever Australian champion in the series, did himself a good job getting on that front row. It's going to be an interesting run down to the first corner, so you can get away quicker. Piastri might fancy a dive down the inside if he gets away well. There is Alex Smolyar. Now, he is still sort of in contention. He's on 208 points compared to the 234.5 points for Victor Martins. But of course, he had that terrible luck at Silverstone where he was leading the race and then a mechanical failure put him out. And as his driver coach said to me, imagine those 25 points were added to our current score. Caio Collet, he can wrap up the rookie title today in this race. All he has to do is finish ahead of all of the other rookies, and then he is guaranteed to become champion. Here we look at Hugo de Wilde, the 16-year-old. He is the youngest driver in the series. He's 5th on the grid for this one. His goal for the rest of the season, he told me, is just to finish 2nd out of the rookies. Collet is uncatchable, and that may well become a fact at the end of this race. But he's in a very close fight with Hockenheim. He's only 6 points behind the Indian driver. This is Lorenzo Colombo. Very consistent driver, perhaps one of the most consistent drivers in the championship. I know he's not fighting for the title, but his worst on-track finish is 7th this season. So it's been a really good season for him. 3 wins and 5 podiums. And Lorenzo Colombo is not too bad in the championship either. 4th in the championship for him. This is Peter Patacek. He's been on a very good run of form recently. Definitely one to watch from 7th on the grid. 7th, 6th and 2nd in his last 3 races. The Czech driver is absolutely flying at the moment. And he goes off P7. Good chance for him to get a very good result here. Now here is a driver we had with us in 2017, and he's returned now. It's Gregor Salsi. It's his first time in the new car, and he's got up to speed pretty quickly, I think it's fair to say. He starts 8th on the grid. He just did a couple of races, 4 races, I think it was in total in 2017. He's back now. Let's see how he goes. Frank Bird starts 9th, a really good qualifying for him. His best result of this season so far is 6th, and that was at Hungary. He's in a pretty good spot. He's got a pretty good chance to go and beat that, as Frank Bird. 10th on the grid is Hockenheim. He had a penalty carrying over from Catalonia, did the rookie. 2 rookie wins for him and 1 podium as well. And there is the Indian driver. You can see he is 2nd of the rookies at the moment. He's leading what is a very close fight for 6th in the championship. He's on 74 points, and then Sebastian Fernandez down in 13th is on 40 points. So 34 points between a good bunch of drivers there. Now there is Alessio Deleda, or at least that's his car. Now he will have to start from the pit lane if he decides to even take the start. His car's ready, but clearly he isn't. Here's Sebastian Fernandez. He's not been with us for the last 3 races due to FIA F3 commitments. His seat was filled by Alex Quinn, who did a really good job, taking a couple of podiums. But Fernandez is now back, and it's been a case of just trying to get back up to speed, really. And he's been doing that at a progressive rate so far. Xavier Laveres, had a chat with him just before the race, actually. Looking to bounce back. He's been on a bad run of form recently, Xavier Laveres. He actually missed the first practice session, so he's been playing catch-up ever since. He has set a fastest lap, though, this season, so on his day he can be very, very quick. As can this man, Patrick Pasma, got on the podium at Nürburgring. Took a rookie win with it as well. I'd say that's going to be one to watch, the Finn from P13. Let's see if he can move up the field. But we got a very exciting entry next to him. There he is. It is Cem Bolak-Basie. I believe this is his first ever single-seater race. He did do 2 races in the GT4 European Series a little bit earlier this year. He does the F1 Esports Championship for Toro Rosso. I believe he took a win in the F1 Esports last year. Don't hold me to that, though. Amaury Cordeel was quickest in the first practice, as I said, so he has set a flying lap on the slick tyres. That could play into his favour, the reigning Spanish F4 champion. There's Leonardo Lorandi, bitterly disappointed with qualifying was Leonardo Lorandi. He spun with just over 10 minutes to go, brought the red flags out, so he's been given a further penalty because of that. His time deleted, and he missed the last 10 minutes anyway. And well, when I spoke to him earlier, he was still a little bit grieved with the session, to be honest. He does like the wet conditions, so he was quite annoyed he didn't go and take advantage of that, but he said top 10 is the aim. I've got nothing to lose. Let's go and make some positions. Those were his words to me. Let's see if he can put on a good show for us. And then we did have a quick look at the number 51 of Federico Malvestiti, who's been on the podium once. He was 8th last time out, was Federico. He's going to struggle to get back there. He's going to have to really have a good race to get back there. But Malvestiti can run in the top 10, can get on the podium. It's a shame to see him struggling down in 17th, but let's see what he can do from there as the cars go off on the roll-up lap. And I think this might be a good time actually to talk about what we've got coming up. Of course, we've got 2 races this weekend. Here is your grid in full. We'll run through it one more time before I go back to what I was going to say. Martins, Piastri, Smolyar, Colette. Of course, Colette, if he finishes the lead rookie, he will become the rookie champion. And the rookie champion, he will get a 45,000 euros prize to cover the entry fee for next season. He's already taken 7 rookie wins, which means he's already won 7 sets of tyres for next season as well. So Caio Collet has kind of got next season covered already, particularly if he can go and wrap up the rookie title. And if he doesn't do it today, then I'm pretty sure he would probably go and do it tomorrow. And when I spoke to Caio earlier, he said to me he's already looking towards next season. Of course, this season is all about him trying to be the top rookie. He's a Renault Sport Academy driver, is Caio Collet. There is a look at the circuit for those of you who are not familiar with it. And being in the Renault Academy, he works alongside the fellow members Leonardo Lorandi and Victor Martins, who is of course fighting for the title. And he's particularly working with Victor, has been really, really good. They train together at the Renault base, and Caio Collet has said that has really helped him out. Victor Martins has been really good to him. There's not any competitiveness between the two. They just try and help each other out as much as they can. So Caio Collet, in just his 2nd year of single-seater racing, has really benefited from that. There was more to talk about, but we've got 2 races and another qualifying session tomorrow morning to do that. So plenty of time to talk lots about the championship, what's ahead for the rest of the season, but most importantly, what's going to happen in this race. 30 minutes plus a lap. You can see it is dry, not scorching temperatures like we've had in places this season. Sure, we'll have really high temperatures for the night race at Abu Dhabi next time out, but it is dry. That is the most important thing, and you have to bear in mind that this is the first time these drivers are driving these new cars around Hockenheim in the dry. So it's going to be a case of who can get up to speed the quickest. Smolyar said to me that he can use the 2 ahead as Piastri and Martins as a bit of a marker, and he may decide to just sit where he is for the first part of the race. So when the lights come on, to the right of screen will be Victor Martins, and to the left will be Oscar Piastri, who is going to get down towards the first corner quickest. Green flag goes at the backs, revs are rising, 5 lights come on, and they're away, and it looks like Victor Martins has got a bit of wheel spin, and I think Piastri has got into the lead. The 2 championship leaders side by side, and Piastri indeed takes the lead. They're side by side behind as well. Hugo de Wilde, I think, going side by side with Smolyar there. Victor Martins is trying to fight back. He's down the inside of Piastri as they go in towards turn number 3 for the first time. Oh, the 2 championship leaders running wide, and here comes Hugo de Wilde. Is it? I think he's gone into the race lead. Hugo de Wilde, well, he won the very first race of the season, and Hugo de Wilde is going to lead us down to the hairpin for the first time, and Smolyar's trying to make it 3 wide. The 3 championship leaders almost all side by side. It's absolute chaos. Caio Collet in the 2nd of the yellow cars is trying to get involved as well, as we all break now down to the hairpin. 1 or 2 drivers locking up a little bit, and I think we're all through safely. I saw Lorenzo Colombo. I think he's gone up into 4th place now. Flat out it is now, down through turn number 7 as we go up towards turn 8. The field filing through, and Piastri now trying to dive down the inside of Martins once again. Look, oh, well, Colombo almost had the switchback on the pair of them, but I think that was Smolyar who made contact with him, and unfortunately Colombo has gone round. Now, 1 driver off in the background. I think that might be Kushmani as they come through the corner where they pull the highest G's. It's the number 27 though, Hugo de Wilde, who leads the race. He won the very first race of the season. He hasn't been back on the podium since. Can he do it here at Hockenheim? Things, I think, are starting to settle down a little bit. Oscar Piastri is second. The two Renault drivers, third and fourth there. It is Victor Martins in third. Then we have Caio Collet in fourth place as they come across the line for the first time. Smolyar is fifth. Gregor Salsi on his return to the championship is sixth. Then it is Petr Patacek in seventh. Frank Bird is eighth. Then in ninth place, we have the number 33 of Sebastian Fernandez as they come down to turn 3 for the second time of asking. Top 4 appear to be escaping. One thing you cannot do around here is lose the toe. Once you've done that, it is very, very difficult to get back in it again, as there goes Frank Bird. Pulls alongside Petr Patacek, and I think Frank Bird, well, he's trying to repeat his result from Hungary where he got a 6th place. That's been his best result this season so far. And under braking, is he going to be able to get through? He's going to be side by side, certainly. You can see the Arden car there of Bird having to run wide now. Now, just ahead, I think that was Gregor Salsi, who was briefly alongside Smolyar. Look to the outside of Smolyar. Is that Lorenzo Colombo at the back of the field? It is. Don't know if that was just my eyes deceiving me, but it looked to me as if he was slowing down. I wonder if Lorenzo Colombo is carrying some damage. As I said to you, he's had a couple of retirements this season, but other than that, his worst on-track finish is 7th, and I fear that statistic of being in the top 10 every time he finishes a race is about to end. There is the number 25, a little bit further back, going side by side with someone that is Leonardo Lorandi, trying to make up some places. He's alongside Cem Boluk-Basi. Boluk-Basi, the F1 esports driver, coming into single-seaters. I believe it is his first time. The comments will correct me if it isn't, as he comes round the double right-hander onto the start-finish straight we go. To give you an idea, Cem Boluk-Basi in the first practice session was 14 seconds off the leader. And now look at him, he's battling away with Lorandi, who is a podium finisher this season. Right, back to our leaders. It is closing up. Victor Martins there in third place on track, trying to get past the predominantly white car of Oscar Piastri as they make their way now round the Parabolica. Here we go, Victor Martins there, trying to get up the inside, is he? Piastri's going to cover him off, and Martins has found a gap on the inside, but he may be blocked by Hugo de Wilde. Let's have a look. Victor Martins, is he going to be able to get the move done? Just about, but Caio Collet in the background's trying to get the switchback on the pair of them, and Collet draws alongside. Well, Collet might be alongside here for turn number 7, but Martins will be on the inside for turn number 8, crucially, and I think Victor Martins is going to hold on for the time being. Collet trying to be brave around the outside, but Martins politely shows him to the edge of the circuit. Wow. Brilliant racing in the Formula Renault Eurocup here at Hockenheim. Well, we said this was going to be an interesting race. It's been a lot of overtaking in a short space of time. This is the drivers just trying to get used to the circuit. They've not driven this circuit in the dry conditions before in these cars. And I think that is showing with some fantastic racing for the crowd who have gathered here for the DTM season finale today, along with many other things, of course. DTMs were out a little bit earlier. Brilliant to be here supporting them. As we come across the line, Hugo de Wilde completes 3 laps. He is leading at the moment. Can he get back on the podium? Can he get another victory after winning the first race of the season at Monza? Victor Martins looking in his mirrors, looking at Piastri. De Wilde is going defensive. Well, De Wilde is going to be under a huge amount of pressure when we go through the Parabolica next time. Through they come. Flat on the throttle, 74% of the lap is full throttle as we come down the long run down to the hairpin. And Victor Martins there is going to look to the outside. He is. Hugo de Wilde's going to try and be brave on the inside. Well, Hugo de Wilde was forcing Victor Martins to go a little bit wider there, but Martins in the end stays behind. Piastri's trying to get alongside the Frenchman. The two championship leaders once again finding themselves side by side. How many times have we said this so far this race? Piastri's looking to the outside. Is he going to be able to get the switch back? No, he's going to be brave. He's going to be very, very brave, and he's going to get through. Piastri into second place. Fantastic driving from the Australian. He's back ahead of Victor Martins. Well, Hugo de Wilde, I'm sure, will be struggling not to look in his Mir is here. He's probably as entertained as we are, as well as trying to lead this race. Behind Caio Collet is trying to take advantage. Now the gap between Collet and Smolyar is 1 second at the moment, so that gap, we'll have to monitor that. The Russian is pulling away from Gregor Salsi in 6th place, and Smolyar is very quickly closing in. Smolyar could make this a 5-way battle for the lead. We still have 23 minutes plus a lap to go. 4 laps completed as they come through turn 1. Very, very quick corner there. Now the run down towards turn number 2. And Hugo de Wilde was briefly looking to the middle of the circuit there just to distract Piastri, just to put him off the idea of maybe a lunge down the inside. Through turn 3 they go. Now flat out through the Parabolica, turn number 5. And we've got the run down to the hairpin, and Hugo de Wilde there is going to have to go defensive. Piastri looks to the outside once again. Piastri, he's going to try and go around the outside, is he? Or is he going to look for the switchback? Martins and Collet in the background are going to close in and maybe take advantage as Piastri has to go off the circuit. Hugo de Wilde forcing him to the outside, but Piastri's in a very good position now, because if he can stay side by side, he'll have the inside for turn number 8, and de Wilde is going to have to give him the space. And Piastri comes down the inside. Martins down the inside of the pair of them. Well, the championship leaders there almost making contact. Maybe they did, but that was perhaps a mistake that turned into a move from Victor Martins. If it was a move that he intended to do, then it was a very brave one, and it almost ended in tears between the 2 championship leaders. Smolyar's hoping for contact surely in the background. That would do him a lot of favours in terms of his championship. He's now caught up. Gregor Salsi has now caught up as well, but it's Victor Martins who leads, and he's trying to make a break for it. Behind Hugo de Wilde there, may be blocking Piastri here. He seems to just be a little bit out of shape since losing that lead, but Hugo de Wilde needs to settle down. He's the youngest driver in the field, is Hugo de Wilde. If he can settle down and stay with Victor Martins through turn 2, then maybe he'll be able to fight back. This was a replay of the start. As you can see, Caio Collet was slow away, and also Victor Martins. Hugo de Wilde is already into 3rd by this point, as you can see, down the inside of Smolyar. Then at turn 2, we had Martins just ran wide. That's all it was. Didn't want to run Piastri wide, but he just ran wide under braking, and Hugo de Wilde said thank you very much. 1 or 2 drivers running wide in the background. This was the moment Colombo, he lined himself up so good for that switchback move, but Smolyar was there, and it seemed an unfortunate incident to me. I don't think Smolyar intended to do that at all. This was the moment that Caio Collet was shown to the edge of the track by Victor Martins, and then this, I think, is the move from Victor Martins we're about to see. Well, that was certainly a mistake that turned into a move. He got it all out of shape there. Back with it live, Piastri has dropped to 4th place. He locked up the inside front left there, and he's run a little bit wide. Victor Martins has played this very well. He's got away. Now, I believe if the race was to finish as it is, Victor Martins would be the championship leader. Just 12.5 points between them. At the moment, Victor Martins is going to score 25 points, and it's only going to be 12 points for Piastri, which would mean by half a point, I think, if my very quick maths is correct, that he would be the championship leader by just half a point. Fantastic stuff. Victor Martins has a 1.3 second lead. Caio Collet is going to be eager to get past Hugo de Wilde. Piastri is there in 4th. Smolyar 5th. Salsi is 6th. We haven't talked about the rest of the field because of how busy we've been with the front of it, but it's Kushmani in 7th. Frank Bird is 8th. Peter Patacek is 9th. Then it's Fernandez in 10th place. Patrick Pasma is 11th. Xavier Laveras is 12th place. Then it is the number 51 behind that, which is Malvestiti. And then we have the 46, which is Bollock Basie. He's in 14th for all the F1 esports fans. Oh, but Caio Collet, he's locked up. He's had to go down the inside of Hugo de Wilde. He's had no choice, but Hugo de Wilde is going to go straight back past. Well, Collet, a mistake there, and his tyres are going to be suffering now for the next lap or so with that lockup. All the drivers saying to me that that is a risk down there. It's a evident risk as seen there as Piastri goes down the inside of Collet with Hugo de Wilde looking to defend. Collet looked to the outside. Piastri saw the gap, almost was able to take advantage. Now in the background, Smolyar is under pressure from Salsi, but also from Kushmani, I believe, as well. Here's a replay, and Collet wanted to make the move, but just locked up, unfortunately. And Hugo de Wil went straight back past, and I think Collet would have been happy to hold on to third place. So Caio Collet, the rookie, if he finishes ahead of all the other rookies, which he is at the moment, he will become champion and pick up the 45,000 euros that go with it, which will cover his entry for next year. And his goal already is to win the championship next year. Through turn one we go. It is just under 18 minutes plus a lap remaining. In the background, Smolyar's pace seems to be dropping off, and Gregor Salsi is filling his mirrors down at turn number 2. Kushmani is there as well. Then it's Frank Bird, who is almost equaling his best result of the season in 8th place. Patacek is 9th. Patacek, who may end his fantastic run. He was at a 7th, 6th and 2nd. He was moving forward ever more, but this still wouldn't be a bad result. Points, of course. Oh, that's a lock-up from Smolyar. That's not going to help his pace at all. Fernandez currently has the last of the points. Then it is Pasma, Loveras. Then we have the number 51 of Malvestiti. Lorandi's made a couple of places. He's up to 14th. There's the lock-up from Smolyar. Bollock Basie is in 15th place, the F1 Esports driver. And then we have the number 18 after that, which is Amaury Cordeal. And Lorenzo Colombo is at the back of the field, so he is still circulating, but certainly, I imagine, carrying some damage to that car. Here's Kushmani. Wow, that would have been a good move down the inside there. It's turn number 12. Kushmani, I think that was more just fill the mirrors. Gregor Salsi. Kushmani, of course, took a podium in the very first race of the season. For those regular viewers, you will remember that first race of the season was a bit of a strange one when you look at the championship now. A lot of the leaders running into problems and taking advantage out front was the likes of Hugo de Wil, Leonardo Lorandi, and Kushmani, who's on the attack here of Gregor Salsi. Looks to the outside, the Indian driver. Third in the BRDC British F3 Championship last year. Now coming into the Eurocup. Fighting for second of the rookies at the moment. Hugo de Wil keen to take that from him, and might do with this result actually. But Kushmani is going to have a look now on the inside of Gregor Salsi. First time in the new car for him. Oh, but up ahead, there's a dive from Collet. Brilliant move there. De Wil defended it, but couldn't cover off the Brazilian driver. But coming to the inside now is Piastri. 3 wide into turn 7. Are they all going to get through safely? Just about. Collet is going to be on the inside for turn number 8. Piastri there is going to try and hold on round the outside. Collet gives him the room. Good, respectful racing from 2 very good drivers there, and Piastri is going to go through and take second place. Considering 2 of those drivers are rookies in Collet and de Wil, we are seeing a fantastic display here from the Formula Renault Eurocup drivers. Piastri into second now. He's trying to minimise that gap. He's going to lose to Victor Martins. This would be 3 wins on the bounce for Victor Martins, having taken the 2 wins at Catalunya last time out. Through the final corner we go. And Collet's there in 3rd place. Just in the background at the bottom of the screen, you saw Smolyar, Salsi, Maney. Bird, I think, is getting involved in that battle now. He is. So Bird, Fernandez and Pasma, the Arden trio, are starting to get involved in that fight as well. You can see the red arrows closing in on the fight for 5th place. Behind the Arden drivers, then we have Patacek, who's dropping down the order. He's now going to have Loveras to deal with. Loveras will be keen to get by, I'm sure. Then it's Malvestiti, Lorandi. Then we have Amaury Cordeal. Bollock Basie is 16th place at the moment, and then Lorenzo Colombo. And I think 2 of the Arden drivers side by side. I think this is Pasma going past Fernandez. In fact, that's Bird, losing a place, isn't it? Yes, it is. So Bird defending, rather. Looking to the outside was Fernandez, but couldn't quite get through. Further back, this is Loveras trying to go down the inside of Patacek, and Xavier Loveras trying to end a bad run of form. He's had a couple of really bad rounds Lorenzo missed the first practice session as well due to some issues, and he is trying to get past Patacek. Didn't quite complete the move there, the number 72, so stays where he is for the time being. Now, you'd think as teammates, Bird would be better off allowing Fernandez through here, but of course, only the top 10 score points, so if you drop down the order, you do risk getting outside of the points, and Frank Bird will want to rack up as many as he can. So this is a good fight going on. There's no team orders, don't forget, at this level of the sport. It's every man or woman for himself, pretty much. As they come through turn number 1, there we can see the Arden drivers. Bird, Fernandez and Pasma in that order. I did speak to their engineer, and one of the engineers from the Arden team, and sort of said to him, what's the goal for the race? Said, get all 3 drivers in the points. We can do it in the dry. No question. And I think that's been proved now. So good stuff from them. Right, in the background, that is the number 4 of Gregor Salsi, down the inside of Alex Smoliar, and Smoliar's going to lock up, and that's not the first time that's happened, and Smoliar's going to lose 2 places, because there goes Kushmani down the inside as well. In the background, Fernandez still struggling to get past Bird. Sebastian Fernandez, the Spanish driver, 3 races out due to FIA F3 commitments, but now back in and with a great move. 2 great moves at the same time. Maney was trying to move, but they both ended the same way, didn't they? Places not gained, and they were constructed pretty similarly. Down the inside, though, this would be a brave place to do a move, but he's done it. Kushmani, fantastic move there. Don't know what's happened to Smoliar. He seemed to get off the racing line there, and I think just got caught up in the dirt a little bit, affected his tyres and kind of washed out. Bit of a weird corner that for Smoliar. Oh, that's a good move. Well, it was a brave one from Sebastian Fernandez. Didn't get through, but look what this is doing. It's causing a queue behind, and Patacek, Loveris and Malvestiti are all closing in. So this queue from Smoliar in 7th now stretches as far back to Malvestiti in 13th place as we approach 2/3 race distance. There's Loveris in the green car, just looking to the outside. Up ahead, that is a good move from Frank Bird. Bird is going to go through past Smoliar and into 7th. Now surely Smoliar is carrying a problem here, because he is really slowed down, particularly over these last 2 laps. And this is not the Alex Smoliar we know. This is not the Alex Smoliar that has had 2 wins, 9 podiums at all, is it? As side by side, how many times have Bird and Fernandez done this? It's ended the same way every time. I think Fernandez is going to have to look somewhere else, or has persistence paid off? I think it has. Yes, it has. Good stuff. So Sebastian Fernandez is through. Frank Bird's going to try the switchback. Pasma is going to try and come down the inside. 2 of the cars getting out of shape there in Fernandez and Pasma. Oh, and Bird, well, of all 3, he came off the worst in that. Went on the grass on the outside. Smoliar's come back through. Now we've got the likes of Patacek. Oh, Loveris was almost into the wall there. Loveris is going to lose a place to Malvestiti in the 2nd of the black liveried cars. And then at the back of this now, just trying to work out who that is. I'm not sure if that's Emery Cordial that has closed in 14th place. When they come through the next split, I will be able to confirm that. Martins has a gap of 4.4 seconds, as you can see to the bottom of your screen. Collette's 7 seconds back, to Wild 9 seconds back. So this is the main fight on track now. Fight for the lower order of the top 10. There is Smoliar, 9th place. He's got Bird behind him. Bird's going to look to the inside. Smoliar's not even fighting it too hard now. Surely he's got a problem. He would have defended it otherwise. But Bird goes through. So Frank Bird into 9th. Smoliar's going to tuck into the toe. That's another tactic. Let them through at turn 2 and then get them straight back down at the turn 6 hairpin. And Smoliar looks to the outside, but in the background, Patacek is deciding which way he's going to go, and I think he's going to go up the inside of the pair of them. Patacek there, trying to get by Bird and Smoliar at the same time. They're side by side further back as well. I think that was Loveris alongside someone. Laverdis trying to get past, weren't Malvestiti. I think he might have lost a place to Amaury Cordeel, actually. So Amaury Cordeel trying to make some ground now. And then we've got Lorandi at the very back of this queue as well. He's also involved in this, and Lorenzo Colombo. So Colombo is also fighting through the order now. He's gone past Lorandi already, has Lorenzo Colombo. And he's in a position with 8 minutes to go. If the battling is this intense to the flag, Lorenzo Colombo could pick up a few places here. I don't know what shape his car is in now, but if it's in a good one, then Lorenzo Colombo will have to keep an eye on his progress. Smolyar running wide. There is Patacek going through. Peter Patacek going into what will be 10th place now, so he's the last of the point scorers at the moment. Lorenzo Colombo, very top of screen, dives down the inside of Cordeel, but can't get through. So Colombo, oh, and well, airborne briefly there was Xavier Laverdis, ran too wide out of the first corner, and Laverdis is just struggling over the last few laps here. He's going to be under all sorts of pressure from Lorenzo Colombo now, who is past Amaury Cordeel, and now Lorenzo Colombo is going to look to the outside of Laverdis. It's going to be the last of the late breakers down at the hairpin. Let's see who comes out on top. Up ahead, that's Patacek going down the inside of Smolyar, and Laverdis holds his ground. In fact, Lorenzo Colombo has to run wide before rejoining again. 7 minutes plus a lap still remaining in this one. Time still to go. Out front, nothing has changed. We'll keep you up to date while we're looking down at the lower order of the field, what is going on there. Fernandez is flying though in 7th. He has done a purple first sector as he tries to close in Kushmani. And Gregor Salsi is only 1 second behind Hugo de Wilde, so we'll keep an eye on that gap as well, although de Wilde was quicker through the first sector. Through turn 12, into turn 13, through 14. Now the final 2 corners. You can see, actually, Gregor Salsi 7/10 behind the wheel now. A fight for 5th is, 4th rather, is starting to develop. But this is Smolyar. Not too sure what the problem is with that car, but there certainly is something not working how it should be. Visually, it doesn't seem to be any problems, but you've got to remember he had that contact with Lorenzo Colombo at the very start of the race. I wonder if that's damaged the front of the car somehow. Side by side, he is now with Laverdis. Laverdis there in the number 72 as they now come through the hairpin. Smolyar stays in behind. Lorenzo Colombo peeking out, but back in again. And Bollock Basie, tell you what, he could get involved in this very shortly. Jem Bollock Basie in the background. As ahead of him, running wide, was Lorandi. And side by side, Lorenzo Colombo is going to try and dive down the inside of Smolyar. Wasn't successful there. But into this corner, they're pulling 2 Gs through here, and Lorenzo Colombo is going to get robbed there. Well, that's a good move from Amaury Cordeel. Oh, and in the background, that's Jem Bollock Basie running wide. Lorandi's now going to try and dive down the inside of Lorenzo Colombo. Can't get through. We're into the final 5 minutes of the race. The gap between Martins and Piastri is coming down, but I imagine Martins is taking a more steady pace than he usually would. What about Saucy and de Wilde? Well, it is only 4/10 now in the battle for 4th place. As side by side further back, that is Amaury Cordeel down the inside of Smolyar. Smolyar bells out the corner. Colombo's going to go through, but we could see a change very shortly for 4th place between Hugo de Wilde and Gregor Salsi. You can see that's not the first time, that's one of many times Alex Smolyar has locked up. And here is the battle. We pick it up down at the hairpin. Kushmani is not far behind this as well. Hugo de Wilde defends and is now going to have to get across to cover off what was a much better run from Gregor Salsi. Salsi to the right of screen, de Wilde to the left of screen, and de Wilde there standing his ground through turn number 7 forcing Salsi to back off, but he runs wide under braking, and Gregor Salsi going to try and get the run back. Gregor Salsi's first race in these cars. To remind you, De Wilde, youngest driver in the field, just 16 years old. Kushmani in the background, closing in as well. Took a podium in the very first race of the season. On the top step of that podium was De Wilde. Kushmani, who is currently second in the rookie standings. Colette will wrap up that title in this race, should he stay in third place ahead of De Wilde and Maney. But the points difference between Maney and De Wilde is currently 6 points. And in fourth place, De Wilde will be scoring 12 points. Maney in sixth will score 8 points. So that gap will reduce. Reduced down to just a couple of points, I think. As you can see, I wasn't born a mathematician. Neither will be. Right, 2.5 minutes to go, and Hugo De Wilde. Oh, Smolyar, I think, has come in, actually. Yes, he has. Smolyar comes into the pits. That's the end of the race. I think there you can see the signal. That's it, I'm afraid. Real shame for Alex Smolyar. He'll fight back tomorrow, no doubt. But back to things on track, and Gregor Salsi is drawn alongside Hugo De Wilde. Hugo De Wilde stays on the outside, gives him the inside. Oh, and sells him the dummy there. Does Gregor Salsi. Fantastic move that. Can he hold on to it? I kind of hope he does, because it was a fantastic move, but Hugo De Wilde is going to stay ahead for the time being. Well, fantastic move that. Classic move. That is something you learn in karting. Fake the outside, switch back across under braking. Right, also getting involved in this, that is Fernandez. Well, we said he was setting purple sectors. He continued to do that, and now he is involved in the battle for fourth place. The red Arden car in the background as Kushmani there threatens to dive down the inside of Gregor Salsi. Doesn't get past. Fernandez, who's back with us after a 3-race break due to FIA F3 commitments, back with us and could come back and get a brilliant result here, could Sebastian Fernandez. As they make their way down towards turn number 2 one more time. Are we going to see any moves? Yes, we are. Kushmani down the inside. Oh, almost wiped out Hugo De Wilde there. Kushmani just too late on the brakes, got it all wrong. Locking up under braking, and in the end did well to avoid any contact. And Kushmani, well, there you can see that was the replay, was attempting a move but didn't want it to go that way. He could come back though. We're still going to have a couple of laps left in this, and how intense this fight is, if it stays like this, then Kushmani could come back and fight again. 30 seconds on the clock. Sebastian Fernandez in the 33 red Arden car. It's going to look to the outside of Gregor Salsi. Oh, you see, all out of shape there. Got crossed up going into turn number 8. And that's taken the pressure off Gregor Salsi in 5th. So a battle that looked to end in a last lap thriller has spaced itself out due to some driver errors. But let's remind ourselves, this is the first time they're going around Hockenheim in the dry, in these cars. The only thing they would have had to go off was any testing they've done in the sim. That is the number 18 that we are looking at now, Amaury Cordial. Not too sure if he's just had it off there. Let's have a look. Oh, he's gone round. Well, he got onto the sausage curb, and unfortunately went round, and quite handily turned itself round the right way again, but he did lose some places. Let's talk about a driver we haven't talked about for a long time. He's leading the race. It is Victor Martins, and it's been a fantastic drive from him. The battle at the start, if you join us late, you're going to have to go back and watch it. It saw Martins and Piastri side by side on a number of occasions, the 2 championship leaders. The gap is going to come down with this result. It's going to come down from 12.5 points to 5.5 points, with Martins first and Piastri second. And that would mean a first and a second, whatever order they're in. If Martins finishes first tomorrow and Piastri finishes second, he'll go to Abu Dhabi as the championship leader. This is going to be 3 wins on the bounce for him. Victor Martins, at the right time, is starting to gain a lot of momentum, and he's starting to look like a driver that is becoming almost impossible to beat. Victor Martins, he had to work extremely hard for it, but race 1 of round 9, Victor Martins is going to close the gap. He takes the race win. Race number 1 victory goes to Victor Martins as he comes across the line. Piastri takes a very respectable second, and he had to work extremely hard for that one. Caio Collet is going to be your rookie champion in 3rd place. Of course, we will not go too crazy about the idea of Collet being champion until we have post-race checks completed. But if everything is A-OK there, then Collet will be the rookie champion. 45,000 euros in his pocket for his entry fee next year, and he's already won 8 sets of tyres. Now, Hugo de Wilde finishes 4th, Salsi 5th, Fernandez 6th, Maney 7th, Pasma 8th, Bird 9th, Patacek 10th. Then we had Malvestiti in 11th. Lorandi was Lavera, was 12th, and it was Lorenzo Colombo, Lorandi, Cordial, Bollock Basie 16th, fantastic from him. Smoliar, an unfortunate DNF after contact on the first lap. I believe that's what led to his later misfortunes. But Victor Martins brings the gap down to 5.5 points. Well, if he can win tomorrow, here's a little stat for you. The last 3 times we have come to Hockenheim, that was in 2004, 2010, and in 2018. One driver won both races. They were Scott Speed, Kevin Corjus, and Max Futrell. And all 3 of those drivers, after taking those 2 victories here, would go on to become champion. Victor Martins wins tomorrow. I wonder if he can continue that trend. One driver that certainly will have something to say about that is Oscar Piastri, trying to become the first Australian champion. Now, at one stage, you've got to give a lot of credit to Piastri, because at one stage he was sitting in 4th. He could see Martins escaping. He could have lost his cool. He could have done something silly, well, I say something silly. Spinning on your way to the pits isn't something that you want to hear about again. Oh dear, that's Lorenzo Colombo. It's been a bad race. It's just been one of those things, and that kind of sums it up for you, that one picture. He won't enjoy watching that again. I'm sure he'll be showed that exact footage a number of times in the future. But back to Piastri. Of course, he had to work very hard. He could have lost his cool. He really could have. He could have done something silly, taken himself out of the race, taken someone else out of the race. But he drove beyond his years, I think it's fair to say there. And Piastri keeps himself, minimises the damage that this man has done today. Victor Martins, trying to follow in the footsteps of Pierre Gasly, becoming a champion in the Formula Renault Eurocup. And Victor Martins, that is a feeling that must be fantastic. Seeing your team, who worked so hard for you, as happy as you are. It's about engineer and driver in this series. All the cars are exactly the same. Everyone's got the same thing underneath them. And it's about who goes and performs the best, who can get their car set up the best. A word to Chen Bollock Basie there in the background, just pulling off to left of screen. First single-seater race, I believe, being a F1 esports driver, and he's doing a great job, showing esports in a very good light. Caio Collet, how about a word for him? Fantastic. He's become the rookie champion as long as all the post-race checks are okay. And with the Racing for Antoine sticker just below him there, French driver Victor Martins steps out of the car, closes the gap to 5.5 points, and he takes the win. Fantastic. Victor Martins. Spoke to him earlier, and one thing he said to me, actually, I asked him about the championship, said, you know, is this on your mind? And he said, in the last 2-3 rounds, all we've done is take each race at a time. That's all I've done. I've focused on the race, not the championship. And in the last 2 rounds where he's been doing that, he's had 3 wins and a podium. And he said, that's all I'm going to do, exactly that. Caio Collet, we believe he's going to be rookie champion. he had to finish the lead rookie. He's done that. As long as everything's okay in the scrutineering, then he is champion, and that trophy will be presented to him at Abu Dhabi. What a moment for Victor Martins. Not too sure about the dance moves, but the driving, certainly something that... well, there we go. But the driving, certainly something that I'm jealous of. Fantastic stuff. Fantastic moment to be here, calling the action. Victor Martins, he stood on a lot of podiums, so if he was getting lost there, then I'm not too sure what was going on. Right, confirmation of the result, because it was all over the place at times, wasn't it? Victor Martins takes the race win, 3 seconds ahead of Oscar Piastri. Caio Collet third. Brilliant podium for Caio Collet, actually. That is his 4th podium of the season. Monaco, Spa and Nürburgring were the others. Hugo de Wilde, fantastic result for him. Hugo de Wilde almost back on the podium again. He'll be very pleased with that, and so he should be. Gregor Salsi, Fernandez, Maini, Pasma, Bird, Patacek, and as you saw there on the second roll of the screen, Malvestiti. We had Loveris, Lorenzo Colombo, Lorandi, Amaury Cordial, Bollock Basie, and Alex Smoliart. Disappointment for Smoliart. He's got work to do tomorrow, but he'll no doubt be going out and fighting to get back on the top step of the podium, but helping himself to a podium. Caio Collet drove very, very well for it as well. Hugo de Wilde leading at one stage, of course, finishing 4th with the rookie. And a lot of respect between the drivers. Some of the guys from some of the teams telling me these drivers know that they're fighting to get to the very top of motorsport. So at this level, they have a lot of respect for each other. They no real rivalries, no huge competitiveness. They just want to go out there and do a good job for themselves to hopefully get themselves further up the order. And as I said, 14 of the current F1 drivers have done the Formula Renault Eurocup. So we're going to be going to the podium now. Drivers are ready to go, and we will start by welcoming out our 3rd place driver, Caio Collet, who finished in 3rd. We'll wait for him to come out. I believe he is ready to go. Well, before we see them on the podium, let's see them on track one more time. Caio Collet finishing 3rd place. Provisional rookie champion as well. How about that? 2nd place, Australian Oscar Piastri still leads the championship, but his margin now only slim, 5.5 points. And the race winner, he's closed that gap down to 5.5 points, is Victor Martins. 3 on the bounce for Victor Martins, 5 for the season, 12 podiums in total. And he goes on to the top step, and we will pause very shortly for the national anthem of France. Congratulations to Frank C. Before we do the national anthem, though, we've got to welcome out the MP Motorsport team. Here comes MP. So now we will go to the national anthem of France. So there, the national anthem. Trophies will be presented next. We'll start with third place trophy. Of course, it is Caio Collet, and it will be presented by sporting manager of Renault Sport Racing, Tarek Aitset. There's Caio Collet. I think he feels happier than he looks. Caio Collet. Second place, well, we've got a very special guest for this one. It's Loic Duval, who's going to present the trophy to Oscar Piastri in second. Loic Duval, of course, Audi Sport driver, also Formula Renault 2003 champion here in DTM this weekend. It's another route they could go down if they wanted to. But our winner, it is going to be Victor Martins. Manfred Sandbichler from Hankook Thai, Europe Motorsport Director. He presents the trophy. And of course, we've got to give our trophy to the best rookie. Manfred will come back to present the trophy to Caio Collet. His champion trophy, though, will be awarded to him at Abu Dhabi. What a race that's going to be. Night race as well. First time we're going out of Europe. And for the team, MP Motorsport, is Tarek Aitset who will pronounce the trophy again. Fantastic result for MP. And a lot of noise being made down there as well. Top three will get on the podium. Team representative will come alongside. We'll get the official pictures. And then we get to the celebration with the champagne, which isn't always as exaggerated on the Saturday as it is on the Sunday, because they have to jump in these suits again. Well, maybe they have spare ones because they're going to go for it. And Victor Martins are not as enthusiastic as the other guys, but maybe tomorrow if he can make it back there. But certainly he'll enjoy it. Well, fantastic racing it has been. Good to see the top three on the podium. We'll look back. We'll actually head down now to the interview. Oliver's going to be down there, and he's going to speak to the top three for us. So it's going to be Caio Collet, Oscar Piastri, and our winner, Victor Martins. And let's go down to him now.
Caio, what a fantastic! I'm sorry, on the wrong step. I'm Oscar. I'm talking to Oscar. Maybe you can talk us through the race. What happened?
Got a good start, and then didn't really defend that well into turn two, and then got nudged off the track, and pretty messy race out there. Happy to come away with the points, and looking forward to tomorrow.
What's your plan for tomorrow?
Pole and race win, as per usual. I think this morning was not too bad in qualifying, and then the race, I think we showed we had more than enough pace. Just a better start, and hopefully we can lead from the start.
It's going to be rainy and a bit wet tomorrow.
We were quick yesterday in the rain, pretty quick in the rain this morning, so don't see why we can't be quick again.
We will see tomorrow. Thanks a lot, and celebrate your second place. Caio, now to you, third place and rookie champion. How do you feel?
Yeah, I feel very happy. I think overall it was, I think overall it was a really good year, and this race I think was really nice as well. I made a few mistakes, especially in the start. My start was not really good, but after I think we had a really good pace in the team. But I need to work a bit more to catch these two guys in front.
It was a great fun to watch.
Yeah, I think it was really nice, a lot of overtakes, and especially because it was our first time on dry, so no one knew the track. Like, of course we knew the track, but no one knew a lot of reference, so in the beginning it was quite tricky, but I'm quite happy.
Congratulations again for second place, for third place in this race, and now here comes the winner, Victor. How do you feel?
Pretty happy. I think it's the best we could do for this race. We are, I think, 5.5 points for the championship lead, so that's awesome. I think, in qualifying we made a job again. We got the pole, and this afternoon I did actually a shit start, but I tried to focus back on myself, and I got the win this afternoon, so it's really good, and I thank the team for the hard job they are doing, because they deserve this.
How do you manage to focus?
I mean, it's always the same. You just focus on how to be the best, and just on the like on the, it's hard to say. Just on the solution you can do, and just on yourself, not on the others.
And not thinking about mistakes you did.
Yeah, obviously. If you stay focused, you will not do mistakes anyway. So that's the main point we need to keep focus on.
And the plan for tomorrow?
The win again.
Obviously, but it's going to be pretty hard in qualifying tomorrow, which is rainy.
Yeah, I think it will be raining again, but this morning it was raining qualifying and we made the job, so just keep focus and yeah, it's going to be getting harder and harder through the whole championship and towards the end, so we are there, and yeah, we just keep pushing until the end.
And I think it's going to be quite a big relief when you made it at the end.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So all the best for tomorrow. Thanks a lot for the win today, and that was it from me. Back to you, Chris.
Thanks, Oliver. Well, sorry for the slip of the tongue there from Victor. It was a bad start, to be fair, I guess, though, wasn't it? Right, well, let's take a look back at some of the highlights. It's going to be hard to get them all into a short video because there was a lot of them. There you can see our eye in the sky over the Hockenheim circuit. And, well, on the grid, it was the first time these cars, these new FR19 Formula Renault cars, were going to go round Hockenheim in the dry. Drivers gambling on setups, I'm sure. Bad start from Victor. He lost the lead to Oscar Piastri, but he would go on to take victory from Piastri in the end. Lots of exciting racing, more to come tomorrow. Join us, we're going to have another qualifying and another race where we do it all again tomorrow. Will we leave the day with a new championship leader? You'll have to join and find out. Thank you for being with us for race number 1 of round 9. That's all from me, Chris McCarthy. For now, it's goodbye.